So I woke up at Betty White's house, and her and Richard Simmons is my bodyguard, by the way, were saying, "Well, what happened? What happened?" And I'm like, "I don't know. How long have I been out?" They're like, "Since Friday night." It was Sunday. Then they go, "Do you remember everything? Anything?" I'm like, "No, I don't remember a thing. The last thing I remember was leaving in the Let's Make a Deal studio. It was on Friday afternoon." They're like, "Oh, you still doing that Wayne Brady stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah, I still gonna do that." They said, "Well, Friday night we got a text from you, got the code that you were in danger." So we went by the place where the text came from. We saw there was guards and guard dogs. So we tried to break you out, and all of a sudden we came under heavy fire. So we had to call in the GPA. Oh, for those who don't know, the GPA is the Giant Panda Army, headed by a panda named Tao Tao. He's the first panda to be born in captivity and released in the wild. And after Panda Movie Night, which was Planet of the Apes, he got inspired and turned the pandas into a elite fighting force. And that's who broke me out, along with Betty White and Richard Simmons. So I'm sitting there going, "Well, is anything missing at my place?" They're like, "No, we went by, nothing was missing, no signs of a struggle." Oh, okay. So I got my iPad, started checking my bank accounts and credit cards, no false transactions or anything. I'm like, "Well, why would they kidnap you and not take anything?" I'm not sure. "So you sure nothing's missing?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure nothing's missing." And I'm like, "Oh my God, they took my hair." They're like, "Yeah, they did take your hair. I was wondering what was different because you were growing it out." "Yeah, right?" I was like, "Yeah, I was growing it out because I got that text from Trump saying that he was going to change his look. And if I had to be the body double, I was going to have to grow my hair out. I guess Trump was going to do dreadlocks." I always wondered why. They were like, "I always wondered why you got dreadlocks. I thought it was strange. It's not your look." So they stole your dreadlocks. Pretty much. That's what it looks like. So then all of a sudden my iPad goes off and it's Biden and Harris. And they're like, "Well, it looks like you got a FaceTime call." So I take the FaceTime call. I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" Blah, blah, blah. We go through all the pleasantries. Then Biden goes, "Yeah, I heard you got had a little trouble Friday night." I'm like, "Yeah, apparently." I'm like, "Well, you all right?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Anything missing?" "No, nothing's missing except my hair." And he's like, "Oh, about that." I'm like, "What do you mean about that?" He's like, "We took your hair." "Why did you take my hair? And why'd you kidnap me to take my hair?" "Because of vaccine hesitancy." I'm like, "What the hell does my hair have to do with vaccine hesitancy?" Well, it's going to take a while, but I can explain it, Biden says. And I'm like, "Well, I got time." So he starts going, "Well, most people who aren't taking the vaccine are Trump supporters, correct?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm with you." He's like, "And what do Trump supporters love most?" "Trump." I'm like, "Okay, I'm with you." So we were trying to get them to take the vaccine. We were going to give them a strand of Donald Trump's hair. And when we did it in the focus groups, 85% took the vaccine on the spot when they knew they got a strand of Donald Trump's hair. So I'm like, "Well, what does that have to do with me?" He's like, "Well, remember, your hair and Donald Trump's hair are the same thing." "Oh, Trump wouldn't give you his hair, would he?" Like, "No, he wouldn't." "So you didn't think I would give you my hair, did you?" "No, we couldn't take that chance. So we kidnapped you and we knocked you out, but we gave you too much. That's why you were out for 2 days. But yeah, we got the hair and we're, separating and bagging it up and we're going around door to door to Trump supporters getting them to take the vaccine." I'm like, "Oh, so is there going to be any effects of the stuff you gave me?" He's like, "No, you should be good." I'm like, "Okay, so that explains it. But who did you have guarding the place?" "Well, we didn't think anyone would care. Or we didn't think, no, not that. No, that's bad. We thought the place was top secret. So we didn't think anyone would know, so we had a small presence, and then the Taliban attacked. So you guys lost me to the Taliban? Yeah, sorry. So that's why they had to call in the pandas. Yeah, we're glad they came because we wouldn't have got to you till next week. Okay. So are you going to keep taking my hair? Well, it depends. If we run out, yeah, we may have to. So I'm like, well, this is a problem. And Biden's like, yeah, well, I'm glad you're all right. We got to go. I'm like, no, you are not going anywhere. You stole my hair, had me captured by the Taliban. I need to be compensated for this. So the next thing you know, Harris gives Biden $500. I'm like, wait, what's going on now? Why is she giving you money? Biden said, I bet her $500 that you would say that. Oh. So the next thing happens, I'm like, well, how am I going to get my money? Venmo, PayPal, Wire? He goes, well, there's a couple suitcases behind you. Well, there's a red suitcase behind you. So I go take this open suitcase, and I'm like, looks about 100K in here. He's like, yeah, so looks like you can come. I'm like, no, that is not enough. So then Harris gives Biden another $500. I'm like, okay, what is going on? Why does she keep giving you money? He's like, well, I bet her another $500 that 100,000 wouldn't be good enough. Oh, well, check the yellow suitcases behind you. So I look in that. I'm like, go through all the yellow suitcases. Oh, looks like 10 mil. Yeah. Okay, I think we're good. 10 mil. I can deal with 10 mil if it means getting the vaccine out. I'll take 10 mil. Well, you said that was your price. I did. Yeah, they said when you were out, that's what you said. You started mumbling and talking about 10 million for the vaccine. Okay. So the other thing is though, how are you convincing these Trump supporters that my hair and Donald Trump's hair are the same? Well, everyone knows that, right? I'm like, no, not everyone knows that. He's like, well, remember Jimmy Fallon played with Trump's hair, and then Jimmy Fallon came home that night and played with your hair, according to you. So we got him to sign a statement, a certificate of authenticity, basically, and we had some chemical analysis done, put in it. So now when the Trump supporter takes the vaccine, we give them the hair first. They get the vaccine. Then we give them the certificate of authenticity. Most of them put it, over their bed, on the fireplace, on the refrigerator. They're dancing. They're happy to take the vaccine. Hell, they're even going to take the boosters. Oh, so this is working for you, yeah. And you got 10 million out of the deal, so you should be all right. Okay. Well, what about the dreadlocks? That text. Trump's going to be mad at me. He's like, no, that was us too. We wanted you to grow your hair out longer so we would have more hair when we rolled out this vaccine program. Okay, so you hacked my phone too? Pretty much. Why didn't you just come to me and give me $10 million and take my hair? Like, we couldn't risk that you would say no or hold out for more money. So you're happy with the 10 million? I'm happy with the 10 million. So then Biden gives Harris $200. I'm like, well, why now are you giving her money? He goes, well, she thought you would only accept 100 million. I'm sorry, she thought you would only accept 10 million. I said you would accept 100. So there's 100 million here? Yeah, there's those green suitcases. There's no green suitcases here. And then I took the camera and put it in. I'm like, look, the green suitcases are gone. He's like, what happened to 100 million? I'm like, I don't know. I've been out for 2 days. So then Betty White comes in and goes, oh, that. And the mind's like, what do you mean, oh, that's $100 million? He starts getting, how he gets. So he started getting a little obtuse. She's like, yeah, the pandas took that. The pandas took it? Well, for breaking them out, they needed to be compensated. You don't just do that stuff for free. You need to get that back. She's like, I am not going near those folks. Then he asks me, you need to get that back. I'm like, I'm the victim here. Why do I need to do work? And she's like, well, Harris was like, well, maybe we can just send a team and get it. Me and Betty White started laughing. You think you have a team of people that are going to be able to take $100 million from the giant panda army? Good luck with that. He's like, well, we need $100 million back. I'm like, well, getting the vaccine out, isn't that priceless? He's like, no, it isn't. I'm like, well, I don't know. That's your problem. See, if you had come to me with the $10 million, you may have saved yourself $100 million. So I don't know. This is my fault. So me and Betty got to go. Bye. And I hung up on him. He was pissed. But, this is the stuff I have to go through. Looking like Donald Trump and having hair like Donald Trump. And I don't know when it's going to stop, but it needs to stop soon